So glad that you're here back with me today for our ZenOne podcast. There's so many things happening right now. Like it's all the buzzers are going off. But we're happy that you're here for our ZenOne podcast today. And if you are new to the podcast, I just want to tell you a little bit about the ZenOne platform. It is a Amazon for dental supplies. So anything that you really would normally order in your day, or normally products you would use in your day, I'm sorry, you can order through ZenOne. The customer service is phenomenal through this platform, and all the suppliers are linked. So just think of it as Amazon for dental supplies. It is so very cool. If you need more information, then Mike will drop a link to the platform in the chat when we're done. So today we're talking about cleaning versus disinfecting. And I have a couple of guests that are with me. And the first one is Matt. And Matt is from RiteWipe, which is a revolutionary product that we're going to share with you today. So, Matt, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so first off, thanks, Sherrie, really for having us on. We're really excited about our product, RiteWipe. Laura and I have been in the business for over 30 years, and we have a product, that resolves a problem. And it's a problem that has existed and everyone knows of the problem. Essentially that folks are misusing a disinfectant on handpieces, on upholstery, on other surfaces within the operatory. So there's a lot of use cases. We first started this journey, Sherrie, with handpieces. That was our focus. That's who I am. I'm a handpiece junkie, quite frankly. So the way we started it is that when I was at Dentsply, there was a large problem. And we were always sending handpieces in under warranty, out of warranty. And it was always, hey, I need to replace your turbine. I was so tired of hearing it, and my customers were. And I finally said, hey, enough of this. Please tell us what that means. So after a lot of testing, and I live in York, PA, where Dentsply was once located. The repair center's down the road. So after a little bit of education and learning more about it, it was the misuse of disinfectant. So that's really what the problem is. Yeah. Absolutely.
There you go. Absolutely. And that's what we're going to talk about today, right? So, Matt got his good friend Laura involved. So now tell us who you are and what you do.
Oh, fantastic. So my name is Laura Jacob, and I also have been in the dental arena for almost 30 years, 28 of which was spent with Dentsply Sirona, and I specialized in restorative crown and bridge solutions, as well as direct restorative procedures, and got involved in the handpiece aspect of the business, where I like to say my passion was to be a trusted advisor in the dental offices for proper maintenance. And that became a mantra for me because the dental handpieces, each dental handpiece produces over $100,000 annually in revenue. And to put that in perspective, an operatory produces somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000. So it just goes to show you how important one handpiece is, and we need to keep those running efficiently. So the maintenance is key. And then fast forward into my RiteWipe journey here, I joined Matt. And we have been on a mission to educate our dental community on proper care on the cleaning aspect of the maintenance side.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys did, and that we all connected. And so I've also been as Mike would call it, or Matt, I'm sorry, a handpiece junkie through my time. And I was one of those people that back in my day when I was working chairside, I too got tired of sending hand pieces out because, you never have enough. And then you've got two down that are away. So I started doing repairs myself. And I found out that, like you guys did, that it was just internally, they were just all mucked up. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't from overuse because they're designed to last for a very, very, very long time, right? But it was because of the maintenance wasn't correct. And people would be like, okay, yeah, I ran it. Like, no, you did not run it, right? You've got to run when you're cleaning and disinfecting. So it's really a whole process. And what I want to talk about is the difference between cleaning and disinfecting, okay? So if you guys have like heard in the news lately, well, if you're in the infection control world, you've heard in the news, but regardless, we're talking about the vital step of cleaning. And in my life, I've been guilty of this just like everybody else. You take a handful of wipes, you're scrubbing, you're scrubbing, you're scrubbing everything, and then you're done, right? I did not understand that in that case, my scrubbing that I did, all I was doing was cleaning, right? So then you got to go back with another set of wipes and wipe it all down again to do the disinfectant part. So in the process of cleaning, especially using wipes, and I was always one who like wiped off even the handpiece before I took it into the into the lab for cleaning, was I would wipe it down because there's blood and guts all over it, right? And so I would wipe it down, and it was the chemicals that are in the disinfecting wipes that has been causing the problem, right? So cleaning has been the step that's missing, that we're not effectively cleaning not only the bioburden, but cleaning the interior portions of the handpiece, right?
Yep.
So that's a really vital importance to understand the difference between cleaning and disinfecting. So Matt, you kind of alluded just a minute ago to the backstory of being in Densfly, seeing this rotating wheel of hand pieces in and out from the same offices too, right?
Sure,
I think you shared that with me. It was the same practices over and over again that were in their hand pieces. And so tell me a little bit more about that. Like how did you discover that it was the disinfecting wipes? Because just like anybody would think, well, it's cleaning it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the way we discovered it is that every handpiece, no matter if it's electric or if it's air driven, a lot of people will tell me, well, listen, I don't see anything wrong with it. You're not. It's all quote unquote under the hood. It's no different than with a car. You can look at a brand new car and look at the exterior, it looks fantastic, but you got to look at the engine. In this case, it's the same premise. If you look at an exterior of a handpiece, it could be fantastic looking, but it's the internal that wears down from the misuse of disinfectant on the external of the handpiece. Now, people will ask me, wait a minute, Matt, how does it get in there? Believe me, if you look at handpieces close enough, air handpieces are 3 parts because you're able to take them apart to repair them. So there are points where you put them together, sealed with O-rings. It's the same thing with every handpiece. There's no handpiece that's homogeneous. You've got to find a way to repair it. Well, these chemicals, and listen, I'm not barging as far as the disinfectants. I'm not saying they're bad. They're just bad for handpieces. You know, getting in between all that handpiece, you can see on this photo here to the left, that is exactly what happens in the internal. And during all of our investigative work relative to from manufacturers to repair companies to dealer repair sections of their company, they gave us data back that you can see on this photo right here, that 70% of all handpieces that are coming in are due to the misuse of the disinfectants. Again, not saying they're bad, they're just bad for handpieces. So you're not going to see it all the time. You're going to see it, the repair guy, or if like Sherrie did, she took her handpieces apart, you're going to see it internally. So hopefully that makes sense, Sherrie.
Yeah, it does. And I too agree with you. It's like you can't figure it out. But I have seen handpieces that turn brown on the outside. And people are like, why is my handpiece brown? Well, it's because the disinfectant stays on there and goes through the autoclave and all those kind of things. So disinfectants certainly have their place, and we need them. We need wipes. I'm just saying we need wipes. As a matter of fact, it's kind of funny. I was asked to do a report for dental unit waterline update through the ADA. And I was reading through the manual, and it said, oh, don't spray down the hand pieces. Like, don't spray them with disinfectant. I'm like, oh, I don't think I knew that. Like, I really didn't. So this is eye-opening to see that it's on the internal things. So Okay, so even if I get the Cavicide or the PD Care, whatever, disinfectant wipes, what
Yeah.
if I get that material inside the handpiece, but doesn't it clean it out when I go and purge it?
Yeah. No, incorrect. So essentially what happens is when it goes in, it's metals versus metals, right? Galvanic corrosion is that the chemistries negatively react to the metals depending on the types of hand pieces, and they're all different types of metals. So essentially it will just go in and it will start to destroy it. It causes a lot of the problems, and it's 70% due to that, right? Based on our statistic here. So essentially, when you clean your handpiece or you purge it, like she said, certainly there is another step, right? You certainly want to clean the internal of the handpiece and you want to purge it. And yes, you will see an orange. If you see an orange coming out in your machine, or if you're doing it manually, the orange is the rust and corrosion that is in the
Oh,
tool. Yes. So now people will think, Sherrie, well, I'm taking care of it then. No, yes, but no.
right.
The damage is done, right? And you can continue to clean it out and try to get as much out as you can, but the deterioration has already started.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So once you see the orange expelling,
Yeah.
it's like a day late and a dollar short, right? I got that.
That's it.
So when we were doing our prep the other day, we also talked about water.
Mm.
So tell me, we all know, I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, we all know about dental unit water lines, right? About the biofilm builds up and everything.
Yeah.
But what is it? It's not necessarily the biofilm that's causing the problem, right?
Mhm.
Is it the water itself? Is that how
Yeah.
that works?
Laura, do you want to? You can take this one on if you want to.
Oh gosh. So when we were in the field, and again, you touched on it earlier with oiling hand pieces and maintaining them, we preached oiling every single day. And this practice must take place after every single patient, every single hand piece, whether it's a low speed, a high speed, an angle, they all need to be oiled in order for them to run well. It would be as if we were driving our car without oil. We need to oil our engines. So some of the oils have detergent in them, which also clean the internals of the handpiece. So it's interesting. You just have to look at your manufacturer of the spray that you use, and you can look at the components in the ingredients, and that'll tell you whether there's a mixture of detergent and oil, right?
So what would the word that I'm looking for to know if it's detergent?
They have different terms, but if you look at one in particular, Dentsply Sirona's Automate, their spray that goes in their automated machine has, believe it or not, 70% detergent, 30% oil, which is like a vegetable oil. So it's a higher percentage of cleaner than it is oil.
Yep.
But the oil, the combination of the two does the cleaning,
Yep.
and the oiling and the lubricating. Same with Cavo. Their formulation is very similar, and there are others.
But what would it say on the label so that I know?
I don't know. We can get that in the IFU. It's been a long time.
Yeah. So
Okay.
certainly if someone is looking at this and they're really evaluating it, they should ask their manufacturer rep. They should make sure that there's some sort of cleaner within that. The one I think you had questioned though, Sherrie, was based more on the water, right? The water.
Yeah. What is the water deal?
Yeah. So interesting that you say that. So through all my years, you're called in on problems, and it's ultimately, hey, it's your handpiece. Well, when you go in and you travel 2 hours and you see it's not our handpiece, well, Matt, it's not spraying correctly. Well, okay, once you diagnose and you dig into it, those small little ports that spray and connect to the burr, they're actually being clogged. They're not spraying properly. Therefore, you're not getting enough water on that burr that spins so fast. Why is this happening, right? So we were big at Midwest, big on recommending Stericyl. That product in the actual water bottle, that we needed water to come through that would not clog those tiny ports, because it's imperative for that use with the dentist. I mean, it's imperative. So if you have anything, and again, I'm not badgering anything nor here nor there, we've always felt we had great results with the Stericyl because some of the particles, some of the pieces that you would put into the actual water themselves, right? They wouldn't, in some cases, dissipate correctly. So those little sediments, right, that you would put in would work their way up and clog that water line. And that water line where the spray port is, we wouldn't get the adequate spray. So it wasn't the handpiece, it was the water coming from that water bottle the whole way through. So
yeah, because the line is only about the size of a thick endo file, right?
Yeah.
It's so tiny,
So
like
tiny.
maybe a 30 or a 40 endo file is about the thickness
You
that
got
it is. The diameter, that's the
Yep,
word I'm
yep.
looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it really makes a difference, right? What
Yeah.
goes through there.
Oh my
So
gosh.
what would be like, let's say we see the rust coming out
Mhm.
and we know that we want to stop that in the future. So
Yeah.
would that be, I have to send the handpiece in to be cleaned and repaired,
Yeah.
and then I can go back and properly take care of it, right?
Yeah.
And the way that I love the RiteWipe products, you guys, and that's why I'm partnering with these guys, because it's a cleaner.
Mhm.
It's a cleaner. It's going to go in there and get in all those little grooves. And the wipes themselves have like they feel to me kind of rubbery knots or dots on them.
Mhm.
And those little rubbery things is what catches the debris and the bioburden that's on the handpieces. So, and then the wetting agents that are inside of it. Look, Laura's showing and telling.
Yep.
There you go. You can see that they're little
Yep.
blue dots, right?
Yep.
So, but the wetting agent that's there has that detergent that's cleaning everything.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
it's a really, really great product to help stop the bleeding, if you will. Once they're
Exactly right.
Cleaned.
I don't want to say destroyed. That's not the right reason.
Yep.
That's not, but once they're damaged, that's the right
Correct.
word.
Yeah.
Once they're damaged, they do need to repair, and then you can go back and like stop the bleeding. So
Yep.
this is a product that will pay for itself quickly if
Yep.
you've been going through a lot of hand pieces. So Laura, I know we were also talking the other day about not only are RiteWipes great for cleaning the hand pieces, and that's where it started, because this is like FDA approved, right, for this purpose?
We have all the approvals for this
All
product.
the approvals.
Beyond, holy smokes.
I know. And I think that is for something to go through the FDA to get all those approvals. That's a huge win, right? And you can trust that. You can trust that the product does what it says. Okay.
Yes.
However, there's other things that we can do with this product,
sure.
right?
For
Okay.
sure. And living in dental practices for many, many years, we're sensitive to and understand that we want multiple uses for products, right?
Oh yeah. Don't give me something that I can only do on one thing. I mean, come on.
No,
Let's be real.
completely impractical.
Right.
So this whole product evolved. And when Matt and I got involved in this, our passion, as we had told you at the onset, was on the hand pieces, because we lived the problems every day and we were teaching the maintenance, and there were things that we could try to control and there were things that we couldn't control. And the wiping was something that we just couldn't get a handle on because there wasn't a product available to act as the pre-sterilization step for proper cleaning and removal. So RiteWipe was born to solve that problem. And this slide here breaks down the other uses. So handpieces is at the top because that was our primary use. But then it evolved because when we launched the product, our phones were ringing off the hook with, where else can I use this? And we did the testing on upholstery specifically because that was the #1 request. And that was probably the most visible pain point for a practice owner, a staff member, and even just the image that it projects to the patient, right, when they come in, because you see that cracking, that discoloration, and that wear and tear. So we did the upholstery testing, and we met the criteria for the soap and water step. So the cleaning using soap and water is in the IFUs for almost every upholstery manufacturer. And so you kind of look at it twofold, right? If there aren't any if there isn't any visible bodily fluid on the chair, then you simply need to clean the chair with soap and water, which is impractical, right? To pull that off on a daily basis. So the RiteWipe is your practical soap and water step. So you would clean your chair with the RiteWipe.
So what percentage of debris does the RiteWipe remove?
Oh, wow. That's another awesome question. So
that's awesome.
There isn't any standard in place for that, but RiteWipe wanted to create the standard. And our testing showed that it removes 99.99% of bioburden.
Daggum, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's really like flat out amazing that you can clean it in an easy to use fashion.
Yep.
Toss it away. You don't have to do anything else with it. And then save your upholstery, because you're right. I go to a local MD provider here in my town, and I really like them. But you can tell that their equipment is old because all of it's cracking from them spraying the disinfectant between patients, right? So it doesn't matter how nice your building is. If your upholstery doesn't look good, then it gives that different. That's not the view you want your patients to have, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. So
that image.
Right, that's really awesome. And I got to tell you guys, we were talking the other day, and I have some RiteWipes that I brought home from a class, and I cleaned my I cleaned my pad here with it. I'm like, that stuff even cleaned the oil from my skin on my wrist pad here. So I thought that was remarkable. And I used it on my computer keyboard, like all of those things that normally get discolored from that. So I think that's really great. So what about, and by the way, Mike had dropped, or if you didn't, please do. He's going to drop a handout into the chat. That you guys can get, that's got all of these slides. So it says RiteWipe handout in the chat right now. Go ahead and download that. And if you're watching this in a recording, then when he sends it out, the recording link, then it will be in that email also, right? So you want to look for the handout. It's got these slides that we were talking about, but it also has two other things that we put in there, right? Because anytime you get a product, you need to know how to use it, when to use it, and why to use it, right? So we worked together, and did you put the SOP in that handout, right? So we put an SOP or IFU, instructions for use, on the RiteWipe. So you have an SOP and an IFU that you can use in your practices. Those will cover your documentation requirements for OSHA, health departments, all those kind of things. We cover those requirements for you. Okay.
That's awesome.
Golly gee, what else? Like, we got a couple more minutes. Like, tell me in just a couple of words, why should we invest in a cleaning product?
Yeah. I mean, for Sherrie, the biggest thing I think of anybody's on this to take away from this is, first and foremost, this is not a disinfectant wipe. If that's one thing you can walk away with from this thing, it's not a disinfectant wipe. It's a cleaning wipe. And it helps with hand pieces to prolong the life. Upholstery. I saw a question in the chat over here about lights, about plastics. Now I want to get, folks, if you have to disinfect something, if that's the IFU and that's the regulatory, if you have to disinfect something, what we are saying is to help minimize or eliminate the cracking or discoloration of other things in the operatory. You should at least, at the end of the day, use RiteWipe to remove that residue.
Yes.
That residue, which causes that stickiness, tackiness on upholstery, the cracking on the lights, the discoloration, the curing lights, the sensors. We have had questions on all of it. So it's a multi-purpose. It's actually 50 times safer than soap and water. Now, figure that one out. That's testing data that we have. So there is no other wipe like this. We are extremely excited about we're more about helping people, and this will help you. I mean, it really will.
It really will. It's a great product.
Yes.
So Natasha says, can you use it on curing lights?
Yep.
And So the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. However, you're cleaning, but you still need to disinfect,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
But here's what happens when you should barrier protect your light always, right? Always barrier protect. And then, but you can clean the handle of your handle of your curing light, right? And that will help it from being discolored. The other thing you can do is then you can disinfect where you touch, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
please barrier protect your wipes. Your lights for that. Too many of those words sound alike in my mouth right now.
Yeah.
Right. So like I said, it's to do. And so the other question was, our curing lights keep cracking and claiming the liquid, but
Yeah.
we do use plastic covers, and that part we have to wipe is the part that's cracked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep in mind, no matter what, remember I just said about if you're disinfecting something, you can do it twofold, right? If you want to take the time that after you go through the disinfecting cycle, you go through the kill cycle, that we really think from a time savings perspective, maybe at noon, you go to lunch. You
Right.
clean, you're removing the residue. That's what's causing the cracking and everything of that nature. That's really what it is. And
It
at
is.
least by the end of the day, that's what you have to do, quite frankly.
Yeah, at the end of the day, and like I said, I was reading all the IFUs for the dental units and everything, and it says at the end of every single day, you should be cleaning everything with soap and water to remove that residue. So once you do that,
Oh my
then
gosh.
it will stop that cracking from that stuff being on there overnight and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
Dana wants to know what pathogens the RiteWipe has been proven to have been effective against.
Oh my gosh. It's I'd have to get into the nitty gritty of exactly what those pathogens will. I will certainly share that with you. Our chemist he actually has several. It's blood and bacteria. If you really want to get into the nitty and the granular piece of it, we can share that with you, Dana. We don't have it at our hands right now, at our fingertips for this presentation, but we do have it broken down. Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll get that information and give it
Yes.
to Mike to send
Yes.
out in an email. Okay.
Yep. Sure.
But once again, this is a cleaning, not a disinfecting.
It's not
okay?
killing.
So
It's removing.
let's keep that in mind.
Yep.
Can you review, do you use your disinfectant wipe and then use a RiteWipe after, or vice versa?
Yeah.
Both, because you want to clean,
Yep.
disinfect,
Yep.
and then clean it at the end of the day.
It's funny, Sherrie. I've had so many people come and listen. I'm a realist within dental practices, and I know your time is limited. I completely understand. But in reality, when my folks from ADS and all the other regulatory agencies talk to us, they say, Matt, in theory, you should clean first,
Always.
disinfect, and then again, at the end of the day, remove. Now, I know you folks probably aren't doing that. And if you are disinfecting, you at least got to remove it at the end of the day. Now, I'm the other piece, but it's all up to you. But we know the right way, and maybe you can comment more on that, Sherrie.
Yeah, because I would just spray down at the end of the day and walk away, right? But studies have shown, research have shown, is that if you don't clean, like think about it, your chair got disinfectant, or all of your curing light, your hand pieces, everything got disinfected. We're going to say 8 to 10 times a day.
Yeah.
You got that amount of cleaner built up on there, or disinfectant built up, right? 8 to 9 times a day. So at the end of the day, if you will clean all of that stuff and then let it sit overnight clean, it will, I'm not going to say it will stop all that discoloring, but it will minimize it unbelievably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I've got 1 minute to wrap up. I want to thank you guys for your questions.
Yeah.
And Kristen, if you didn't stay on there for a couple of seconds, if you missed part of it, it's going to be recorded. Okay. And please, if you would stay on and do our survey, we really want to know how we're doing. Okay. All right. So thank you, Matt and Laura, for joining me today. I do appreciate that. And next week, more compliance. We're going to talk to my friends and Mike had just, Matt, I'm sorry, has mentioned this, my friends from Stericyl. So my buddy, Chandra Chatham is going to join us, and we're going to talk about dental unit water lines. So we will have a dental unit water line experts, her and me, on there next week. So you guys make sure to plan. And if patients happen, then you watch the recordings. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. If you're new to the platform, make sure you go check out ZenOne.com and see all the features that the platform has to offer you. And follow me in social media, Dental Assistant Connection. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good time. See you on the 24th. Thanks, guys. Thank you for joining.